Rain lashed the city, a torrent of water, cold and unforgiving. From the awning's shelter she stepped out into the deluge. Her red dress, a splash of defiance against the grey, clung to her like a second skin. Each drop that struck its surface seemed to bead and glow, tiny crimson jewels reflecting the neon signs above. The air was thick, heavy with the scent of wet asphalt and exhaust fumes. A symphony of city sounds. The growl of engines, the splash of tires through puddles, the distant wail of a siren, formed a backdrop to her solitary walk. She didn't notice the man across the street. He stood partially hidden in a doorway, collar pulled up against the rain. His eyes, though, were fixed solely on her. He adjusted his coat, a casual movement that belied the tension in his stance. Underneath, his shoulder holster held the reassuring weight of his .38 snub-nosed revolver. He hadn't planned on needing it tonight. She moved through the crowds, a scarlet flame in a sea of dark coats and umbrellas. People jostled past her oblivious, but he watched her every step. His gaze was a physical thing, a tether that bound him to her even across the rain-swept street. She laughed at something a friend said. The sound lost in the downpour. He didn't need to hear it. He could see the way her head tilted back, the flash of white teeth. He checked his watch. 7:52 p.m. She was running late. He hoped it wasn't a bad sign. The rain intensified, a curtain of water that obscured the city lights in a hazy glow. He followed her, keeping pace with her on the opposite side of the street, always maintaining a safe distance, blending in with the late-night crowds. She walked with purpose, her head held high, navigating the treacherous sidewalks with an ease that spoke of familiarity. He noted her every move, every glance, every unconscious adjustment of her handbag. His mind raced, piecing together the fragments of information he had gathered. He wondered about her. Who was she meeting? Why this place? Why this weather? Most importantly, was she truly who they claimed she was? She stopped at a small, nondescript cafe, its windows fogged with condensation. The bell above the door chimed as she pushed inside. He paused outside, letting a group of laughing teenagers pass before following her in. The cafe was warm and inviting, a stark contrast to the harshness of the street outside. The aroma of coffee beans and cinnamon hung heavy in the air, a comforting scent that did little to ease the tension coiling in his gut. He spotted her sitting at a table in the back corner. Her back was to him, but he recognized the fiery cascade of her hair. A man sat opposite her, his face obscured by the dim lighting. He moved towards her, his hand hovering near his concealed weapon. His heart pounded against his ribs, a drumbeat to the symphony of the rain outside. It was time for the curtain to rise on this act. He just hoped it wasn't the final one.